All right. Well, now we're here for our next session. Amen. So we must now what? Build first. Amen. What we talk about, we must build first. I know me and Pastor Noel, we took over the ministry like 4 years ago. We went about 4 years ago, and people thought we were crazy. So ministry. Some people got mad. Some people left. But we just wanted to what? To obey God. To no matter what.
Right.
Because we wanted to build. We wanted to build something that we can build a solid, firm foundation. So sometimes when you're going through a reset, a lot of people are gonna be mad at you when you're resetting, amen. So you gotta make sure some people's spouses are gonna be upset with you, but you gotta be what do you call it? When you reset some things, you gotta be thick skinned. You can't be afraid to say no. You can't be afraid to say no. You gotta be very thick skinned when it's time to make certain decisions, especially the person whoever's handling the money. You gotta be thick. You gotta be thick skinned. You gotta be thick skinned. Sometimes, no, like I said, Noel saying that sometimes she was very, very, very upset with me. But sometimes when you being at the final authority, you got to make a final decision. Like I said, for me, I didn't want to go back to work, so sometimes I had to make certain decisions. I wasn't gonna put myself back in a situation where I was gonna go back to work. So sometimes you gotta make hard decisions because I wanted to build, amen. And we as a body in this room, you got to get together where you're not begging for anything, amen. You got to move forward.
Amen. So that's the thing. We got to make sure that we're always in the mindset to build and not always in the mindset to spend. Because we think about spending before we think about building. Because again, back to what we said earlier already about self-gratification. Because that's all that is.
Amen. And I'm to the point where I'm not going to be going back to work to buy my kids something for Christmas. I'm not going to work to struggle, to strain, and I'm going to be at peace. I'm not going back to work to that.
Right.
We must use our finances and our resources to the best of our ability. Amen. Our communities need to stop telling the world that we don't have no money. We got money. We just spend it.
Right.
We got money in our communities. We just choose to spend it the way we want to spend our money.
Right. We have money.
We spend $1 trillion on church. We spend a whole lot of money on what we want to spend it on, but we're not spending it in the right way.
Because we find money for what we want to find money for. But then when it's something good, we don't like building. We don't want to find money for that. But we'll find it for whatever we want to find it for. I bet you if your tire go out, you'll find that. We're resourceful when we have to be. So we need to look at building the same way.
And, as you're getting things, I know a lot of people who got the things are still depressed and insecure. They have the house. They have the big house that they want. They're unhappy, but they got everything that they could imagine, but they still depressed. They still insecure. Some of them even kill themselves because they still can't find no gratification on everything that they got. So you working and they ain't got nothing going on.
Right.
Going with that, amen.
That's
so you gotta
right.
you gotta find purpose. So why am I working and what am I building? What is my purpose for doing all this? You gotta find purpose. And we gotta do better, amen.
That's right. If you find purpose for whatever it is you're doing, if you make it where, okay, if I do this, how is this going to help me get to where God is taking me? If you put that question ahead of things that we decide we want to purchase, then, we might rethink some stuff. Because we need to be building towards what God has for us, not just what we think we need to have. And most of the time when we doing that, it's because we just want other people to think we got it going on. It don't even have nothing to do with God. God already know who we are. We don't got to show God we got it going on because he already know we do. We just doing that for other people to see us and say, oh, look at them. Okay, now they doing something. That's not building.
And you got to also establish a budget, y'all. Establish a budget. Really establish a budget. I'll say this. Try it for the year. Try between now and the end of the year. And really be stern with it. And really be stern with it. Try your budget for a year. Put what we're talking about today, put it into practice for this whole year.
Excuse me.
A friend of mine told me this. He said, Alfred, before you got married to Pastor Noel, Was you living? I said, yes. Was you surviving? I said, yes. He said, what you do then, do this. Put your money to pay all your bills like you was paying already. Her money, put it in the bank. Because you already living already as is. You got you a car, you got you a house, you got a car, dog dig, you got everything. You got a house. You paying the bills no matter if she's here or not, right? So if she pays, what if Noelle makes $4,000 a month? So if you make $4,000 a month, if she makes $4,000 a month, we put that in the bank for 12 months. Guess what we got now? We got bank.
Right.
Because we still living as if she is not in the house. See, what happens is us men or women, we think because now we got money together, we're splitting everything 50-50. No. Do it as if, I was telling Brother Rob, if you was doing it before, you still can do it now. You still can do it now. Pretend like that person is not there.
Right.
Because if she wasn't there, you would still do it, right?
Right.
So use her money. What we do with Noelle's money at one point, all the money is going into the bank. So now we got some moolah. We got some capital that we can build, whether we want to go buy a house again, whether we want to go do this, we want to go do that. We have some capital. But sometimes you got some men and some women, this is my money. This is what I did. But if you get married, it's no longer your money. And if you're not willing to let go of anything, you're not ready to be married yet. But it also depends on your guys' dynamic. Everyone has their dynamic. Like me and Noelle, what we do now, we do put our stuff together, but then sometimes we put some stuff together and sometimes we have our own stuff. What we do, we put all the money in the bills that we agreed to that's in the bill money. So she put her money in there, I put my money in there. Then I have the money that I have, and she has the money that she has. And that's how we do it. But we agree to the budget, whatever the budget is. If the budget is $2,000, I'm only putting $1,000 and you putting $1,000. That's it. Now, if you overspend in that budget, hey, I don't know what we're gonna do. We gotta figure it out.
Right. And instead of, because a lot of times people do look at it when they get together, that means, oh, we got more money to spend now.
Yep, we do.
Nobody's thinking about saving it like that. Everybody always, when you merge with somebody else, the first thought is, oh, now we got more money in the household, more stuff to buy, more ways to spend. But we have to, get into that mindset, because it took me a minute to get there, because I was like, listen here.
I mean, you got to get to the point where you're not getting
it's hard, though.
Getting no name brands, amen. There's wealth transfers happening. How many people know there's wealth transfer happening?
It's happening.
But we got to be ready for it. Listen to this. In America right now, we have 22.47 millionaires right now in America. 76 of those are white. 8% is Asians. 8% is black. 7% is Hispanic, and 1% is whatever race.
Yeah. So here we are. So of the 65 million African Americans or black folks, it's only 1.79 million in that number. Out of 22.47. So 23 out of 23 millionaires. 1.7
is black.
So we'll even round it up and say 2 million. That's a low number. Out of 65 million. It's low. It's low. And then for Hispanic, it's 1.5. That's low. That's low. 76% is Caucasian. Why is that? They understand the game. They understand the principles. Even if they ain't Christians, they follow biblical principles to get where they are. And like we said earlier, ahead of the game, they ain't driving around in luxury cars. No, they ain't doing that. The whole family got a luxury car. Y'all need a a 10-car garage because everybody want. They ain't doing that. Because they know that that kind of stuff doesn't build generational wealth. That just builds right now. Well, see me. Mm-hmm. Anybody ever been buried in a Bentley? You know what I'm saying? If there is, I bet you so. I bet you, yeah, it wasn't a Caucasian person that was buried in it. You know what? I'm going to look that up because if it is, I bet you. Exactly.
How many people know that's terrible? That's horrible.
It is.
What we do, if you can look on TV now, if you look at the Caucasian race, what they got on? Regular T-shirts and jeans.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe $10 for a pair of jeans and $5 for a T-shirt. What do we got? We got gold chains and
with
diamonds. We got brand new teeth.
Come on now. And the whole Louis outfit.
The whole Louis
Not just the belt now. The whole outfit. Your shirt, your belt, your shoes, and your pants.
As brilliant as we are, as smart as we are, and as talented as we are, we don't own nothing.
Jesus.
Nothing. Because
Jesus.
why? We're spending before we build.
Spending before we build. Wow.
That tells me right there that
Talked
the
about all
black
that.
community and the church community is somewhere between the poverty and the middle class. And we don't want to grow. We say we do, but we don't. It shows by our actions.
Mm-hmm.
Our actions shows everything.
Yep.
Who doing GoFundMes? Blacks and
I think
Hispanics.
everybody do that.
You don't see nowhere online where you see Caucasians. Average. Their GoFundMes is toward some basic, some things. Ours is.
Yeah. Talked about that already. See, we went over it. And another thing, okay, so I got to hit on this a little bit. People will pay $500 for some hair.
Yep.
Get your hair done. People will pay $500 for some hair. And you know what? I ain't going to knock that. I ain't never paid $5. But I have paid some money for some hairdo.
$200 or $300.
I done dropped a couple $100